Hey guys, this is Mark with Apple Tech 128, and in this video we're checking out the TZ5Z Plus. This is an Android TV box that is under $100 and will get you Android on your TV. This supports 4K, so if you're using a 4K TV, it's going to be totally supported. We've got a lot of RAM, a lot of storage, so you should be able to run quite a few apps, keep everything running, going smooth. Hopefully, we'll check that out in this video. So in the box we will find our unit itself along with some instructions and a couple of other things. Get that off to the side. First we have our user manual showing you how to set it up and use it a little bit. We've got a power cable. We'll talk about that in a minute. I have an issue with it. We get an HDMI cable, which is awesome. You get a free bonus in the box. And we also get our remote. No batteries, you have to supply that, but the remote is actually pretty good. And here's the unit itself. It's really small. It looks pretty nice. It's got a ton of ports, and I love the texture and design on the top. It's got this little honeycomb pattern. I think it looks really cool. It's all made out of plastic, but the whole unit itself feels pretty sturdy and solid, and I'm a big fan of that. All around the outside of the unit, we actually do have a light strip, so it's going to light up when you're running it. The ports also do light up based on the color, and the optical audio is always red, and you can change those lights within the app. There's a button on the remote dedicated to the LED app, and you can go ahead and change them to a bunch of different options. One thing that's also super cool with this is that it has a built-in screen, so we can see stuff like time, whether we have alarms set, different status information like there it said boot, and when it is up and running it will show you whether it's connected to Wi-Fi. So you get a bunch of different status information from this, and it's so awesome to have by your bedside. You don't need to clock, you can just have this and it'll look great. This little box also has a lot of ports on it. So we have a USB port, Ethernet, optical audio, which is pretty cool. There is our power in, HDMI, auxiliary audio out. We've got another USB port as well as a micro SD card slot. Compared to other remotes for set-top boxes like this one's actually pretty full-featured and has a lot of buttons on it, so let's go ahead and check that out. First we get a power button for the box itself. There's also a TV section, so we can do power, change the source, adjust volume. If your TV supports that, none of mine do, so that didn't work for me. We also got a button for our LED and our Kady, which is an app. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Also got some media controls. There's a home button and back button for Android. There's a cursor button. Another one that I'm really not sure what does, it just kind of locks everything. Your navigation pad, numbers, and we also do have a dedicated button to launching the browser. Now, like I said, this does support 4K TVs, and I do have it connected right here to 4K. And for the most part, I think the interface looks fairly good. There's a couple of the pre-installed apps that came in, and then a couple of the other graphics like the Smart TV box that look a little bit blurry and not quite optimized. But if we do go into settings, we can see that it is supported, at least on my monitor, at 4K 30 Hertz. So it's not 60 Hertz and it's not the smoothest refresh rate, but when you do navigate around, it actually looks pretty good. But you can downscale that to 1080p if you want a little faster refreshing. So this is the interface right here. We get the stock launcher and you cannot change it. I've tried, and this is actually not true Android TV. It's actually Android with a skin on it, and it's a little bit funky at times, but this is what it looks like. We got all these different icons and folders, so we have all of our apps, and then there's another folder called music where your music apps will live. We have settings, which will pop up some quick settings on the side, but we can still access the full settings app. We have a memory management app, so you can clean up the memory. We do get full Google Play Store support, which is awesome. There's a video folder where you can put your video apps, and you can change what is inside of the folders. You can select whichever apps you want. So if you add more, you can add it to that folder for quick access. But the only thing about this is you cannot change the order, the name, the folder. You can't add anything, can't delete anything. It's stuck like that forever. And then at the bottom, we do have some apps that we picked ourselves to put in, and you can change that as well. So it's kind of like a dock. You can get quick access to things. The Play Store is on here, and it takes you to that setup page every time, which is kind of weird, but you do get the full Play Store. And like I said, this is not a true Android TV, so all these apps think it is for a tablet. So if they do require a touch input, they may not actually work. So keep that in mind. But for the most part, it works good. As you can see, we have the strip along the bottom. like a traditional Android device, but the only way to do it is either connect a keyboard and mouse to your thing, or you can use the cursor mode and actually use the arrow keys to navigate the cursor, and then you can get into this stuff. And I feel like this device is best used with a mouse and keyboard if you want the best possible experience. So now let's check out Kady Player. This is the app that the whole entire box is based around. It has a dedicated button on the remote. And what this is basically just a media reader app. So we have movies, TV shows, music videos, TV, radio, and a lot of the stuff reads from the internal media. So you can use the micro SD card in order to get content on here. And that is kind of where you're going to be able to access that sort of stuff. It does have a couple of add-ons, so you can install some Android apps and different plugins, but I would just rather go through the Play Store. There's a bunch of settings you can play around with, but if you do have an SD card full of stuff, this is the place you will find all that. But that is the interface of this little box. Again, it's not true Android, but it works. My only issue with the actual accessories is that the power cable is extremely short, and it is so short that you really cannot place it anywhere, and that's a little frustrating at times. But overall, for the price, it's a fairly decent setup. If you're looking for a budget set-top box in order to make your old TV smart, this is a great option. I highly recommend it. I'll drop links to it down below. But that's going to do me for this video. Thank you so much for watching as always. If you like this video, leave a like and hit that subscribe button for more videos like this. This is Mark, and I'll see you in the next one.